pretty dope. So wanted to give you guys some critical updates here. Islandproject.com, got our new coffee cups in black, pretty epic, all murdered out. It is May 13th, 2025. I've got some massive updates. Obviously, markets up only. Congratulations to everybody tuning in. Every prediction is now panning out. Every recommendation is soon to hit new all-time highs, and many of them are hitting new all-time highs today. In fact, one of them, Palantir stock, which I recommended the IPO years ago, hit a new all-time 52-week high today. Absolutely, and it's an all-time high. Let's double check that here for a minute. So Palantir is now trading at a $300 billion market cap on my recommendation from the IPO, in addition to Coinbase stock being listed as a part of the S&P 500, the first Bitcoin company, which now means that every grandma, Tom, Dick, and Harry actually owns Bitcoin, whether they know it or not. So that's all come true. And yeah, that's a new all-time high. It's a new 52-week high with Palantir, and it's a new all-time high. Check this out. Could have bought it at zero when I recommended it. I've made many people rich, and it's just one example. Ethereum will soon break new all-time highs as well. I expect it to push way past 5,000. Bitcoin, of course, is on its way, as I predicted, not just to 3 million a coin, but to 200K next. RSR is my 1000X pick. That is my number one highest performer, highest conviction play with the most upside, in addition, of course, to my number one investment, islandproject.com. Current market cap of the cryptocurrency aggregate market is 3.38 trillion. So we've made some major moves just in the last few days. Now, a couple things here, because I've been bookmarking some key points I want you aware of. We have all the power players in Riyadh, all of the power players. Donald Trump has declared world peace. He's also going to lift the sanctions from Syria. This is absolutely massive. Huge congratulatory speech today. Epic. Finally, the President of the United States, a president, is respected overseas. Obviously, this is the golden age unlocked as predicted. And if you've taken any of my advice, you are sitting on record profits and even more profits that are coming. But I also want to warn you, as I also predicted, that Donald Trump had a quote-unquote optic falling out with Netanyahu, which I told you a couple of days and weeks ago, that all that meant is that Donald Trump was very aware that Netanyahu, behind closed doors, was set to attack Gaza in a, quote, full force move in the coming days to, quote, destroy Hamas, end quote, for good. And there will, quote, be no situation where the United States or any other country stops the war. So let me read that to you again. Netanyahu says Israeli military will enter Gaza with full force in the coming days to destroy Hamas, and there will be, quote, no situation where we stop the war. So Trump isn't flip-flopping, by the way. He's on Netanyahu's team. But optically, he has to distance himself from Netanyahu before Netanyahu places his imminent attack on Gaza, because, of course, it's considered a humanitarian crisis, and there's been a tremendous loss of life and devastation, and it's not pretty to look at. So I told you this weeks ago, that Donald Trump is pretending to have a falling out as he's in Riyadh and in Saudi Arabia. In Saudi Arabia, by the way, the Royal Highness King Salman has promised a at the very minimum, trillion-dollar investment into the United States. This includes parts of our military-industrial complex, and this includes weapons and helicopters, missiles, and other equipment. In fact, what was most noticeable today is who was in attendance in Riyadh, who was speaking. And notice my top pick Palantir, Alex Karp, and others were all there shaking the Royal Highnesses in the King's hand. In addition to that, Elon Musk also gave a speech today. He's expecting over 10 billion, quote, robots on our planet very soon. He was pitching his new company, Boring Company, that digs underground, and also telling us about XAI. And of course, what I also predicted years ago will be the rollout of universal basic income very, very soon for the peasant class here in the Americas and overseas. In fact, another announcement came out that the government is even considering passing legislation to fund every American child $1,000 into some form of retirement account, which sounds really good on paper, but it's only because they stole all of your money through hyperinflation, dollar collapse, and criminal activity, of course, at the central bank and the too big to fail banks having printed currency out of thin air from nothing and then bailing themselves out continuously and raising your cost, standard of living, home prices, real estate, food, water, air, and healthcare, which is why Donald Trump has made huge announcements regarding prescriptions very recently, bringing down the cost some 80-90%. So this is massive, and it's very important that we look ahead of where this is going. So again, every prediction fulfilled, every prediction that I've ever guided you on is now happening as we speak, May 13, 2025. This is just the very beginning of the biggest Renaissance period, golden age in world history, as the United States, as it was always pre-planned, would be transferred and transitioned forcefully into a new world reserve currency standard in the form of Bitcoin and blockchain, which I've been teaching for going on near 20 years now. I run the largest school in the world and, of course, invented the digital Noah's Ark because God instructed me on it, islandproject.com. So it's all headed this direction, and it's just begun. And I want you to understand how scarce Bitcoin is, how scarce it is, how Bitcoin is fractional. And it truly is the new gold standard world hegemonic order of the new system. There is no other platform and there is no other blockchain like it. There is no other unconfiscatable coin. For those of you that are just learning about cryptocurrency, I'm going to give you a few tips. And I've always recommended, of course, my favorite stable coins are USDC. I recommend USDC. I also recommend DAI to a lesser degree. But I want you to take note of something. Both of those are under central control, which means remotely they can be cut off by their centralized authority. This is a stark comparison to why Bitcoin is so valuable and why all of you should own at least a little bit of Bitcoin, because Bitcoin in a private hardware wallet is truly unconfiscatable by anyone unless you gave them your private keys. It is an unconfiscatable, truly decentralized asset with scarcity that the government does not control at all. Now, of course, we married the best of both worlds with our islandproject.com real asset base with no bank debt, by the way, that's also being tokenized, which is offering a duality of non-confiscatability with no debt, in addition to the freedom of decentralization and a private walleting of the future Island Project coin, which hasn't launched yet. By the way, get in. It is time to get in, ladies and gentlemen. So many of you, I'm reading your comments, and I want to congratulate everybody, but I've read maybe 100 comments today, like, Christopher, I've made more money than I've ever made in my life. Thank you. I'm up $3 million in Palantir stock. Thank you so much, General. I just had another person leave a comment saying, you've made me a ton of money, but I'm still skeptical. Can Bitcoin really be the world reserve? Yeah, it is, because it's fractional and it's scarce. And again, this was all a setup. I told you this for 20 years. You were set up. All the elites were lying to you. They hate your guts. They want you poor and broke. They set up and placed all this new technology to overthrow the old paradigm and put you into the new system, which they had always intended. You see, Bitcoin is AI, the same thing that Elon Musk is describing with XAI, competitor to ChatGPT and many others out in Riyadh. This is what many people didn't understand. The government's never paying back the debt. Donald Trump's going to print more currency, and it's not even his fault because he doesn't have a choice. The central bank is a criminal entity, and he hasn't ended it. So as long as the central bank is around, then count on hyperinflation. I was filling up one of my 13 Jeeps earlier this morning, and it was $5 a gallon here in Hawaii. Now, of course, they've got a ship over here, so costs are going to be higher than usual. But I'll tell you, it wasn't $1.98, okay? So I don't know where anyone's paying, $1.98 for their gasoline. And my point is, the American people are about to be brutalized by the deep state, absolutely destroyed in the biggest wealth transfer in soon-to-be human-robot merger history. And this is where it's going. And I've said this for years, even though it was unbelievable before. It was hard for people to understand what I was saying. Now you're seeing it. There is a full frontal attack on humanity. The dollar is dead. The US petrodollar has ended. Your currency has been willfully, systematically pre-planned, by design, destroyed. You were locked in your house in 2020 because it was the plan of the elites to rip you off and to dethrone the dollar and bring in the digital hegemonic order that, of course, I predicted here at AMTV and islandproject.com. Blockchain, of course, is the future of money. Now, also, Larry Fink is also in Riyadh, just a total scumbag. Spit on Larry Fink. Total scum of the earth. But he also noted that we're going to expect a lot of volatility over the next 90 days. See, I'm anti-BlackRock. I'm anti the deep state, anti-Wall Street. We're the good guys. My father and I, we're the Christian leading billionaire superclass fighting the deep state on your behalf, 1776, along with all of our members. We are the true badass warriors for the kingdom of God, the Navy SEALs, along with you fighting for goodness, hope, and joy in salvation. By the way, I woke up this morning, and then I'll get back on topic, to a beautiful rainbow. I was holding my baby Faith, who's going to be undergoing surgery. I appreciate your prayers very, very soon. And I'm holding her up, and there's a giant rainbow behind me. And my wife's there, and we're smiling. She takes a photo, something just for our private enjoyment. And I'm just sitting there going, oh my gosh, like, God is so good. God is so good. She's smiling. I'm smiling. I'm holding this beautiful little girl in my arms. And I bring that up because I want you to understand what we're fighting for. I want you to understand and really dig deep into your soul and understand what you're fighting right now, what the purpose of all this is, what all my recommendations, the reason for it, why we designed Island Project, why I recommended Bitcoin, why I got you on board into blockchain, why I recommended Palantir stock at the IPO before you'd ever even heard of it. And now it's the biggest company in the world. How I told you to buy Coinbase, and now it's listed on the S&P 500, and every major index fund is represented by it now. I want you to understand the reason I directed you this direction, because I knew you were going to need ammunition and firepower to fight the deep state in the coming days ahead, to fight the darkness, to stay within the light of Christ, our King, to be something of good and hope and destiny and fire in your heart and passion and all of these amazing things that brings us recognition that we're alive, that we have a flicker of life deep inside our souls. All of you tuning in. And so as I see these world events pan out, it does bring me a lot of joy because I know that I've helped a lot of people in very significant ways. And I know it's just the beginning of so many amazing things that are about to happen. But it's also a testimony, and I'm also here today to give you a warning that you need to get in to islandproject.com today, not tomorrow, now. You need to onboard right now. You need to go big now, this second. You need to upgrade in DCA to 250. from 150 to 500 to 1,000 units are capped. You need to call my dad and text him right now, right away. Make sure you get in, 808-442-2934. Why am I saying that? Because not only is Larry Fink telling you there's going to be a lot of volatility, but you're going to need a steady course of legitimate conservative profit taking in the coming days. And if you're up huge today, I'm telling you straight up, take some profits and onboard islandproject.com. Secure your gain and lock it in and make sure you're a part of the next 1000X. Again, guys, this is the biggest thing we've ever done, the biggest thing I've ever worked on, bigger than social media, bigger than e-commerce, bigger than Palantir stock, bigger than Coinbase, bigger than the Google Dutch auction that I sold in 2008-09 when I was working on Wall Street at Merrill Lynch, sold that equivalent IPO. Bigger than all of it, bigger than Bitcoin. That's how huge IP is, islandproject.com and the Digital Noah's Ark. Don't miss it. So I'm expecting an imminent invasion and a finalization of the attack on Gaza imminently. A very controversial sore spot, I know, and I'm not getting political. I'm just telling you what's going to happen. All signs point, and Netanyahu is even quoting and telling you exactly what he's going to do. Donald Trump, meanwhile, is ushering in the biggest renaissance I've ever seen, the biggest golden age, the biggest promise of victory, the biggest promise of Americana and success and 1000X mentality and dividends and just 100% winning day in and day out. And not every American is going to participate in it. I've said this before. Don't let your politics cloud your judgment here, because so many people dislike Donald Trump or they don't like politics. So they've decided they're going to opt out and not take part in the revolution, which blows my mind, because even for those of you that think that, you're actually going to be forced on the standard, whether you like it or not. Anyways, the case in point being, if you watched my video yesterday, now with Coinbase stock, one of the few stocks I own and recommended very early on from day one, now forces everyone to own Bitcoin. So you understand that every index fund, every ETF that represents the SPY, the SPY, now owns Bitcoin and my recommendation. I was making this point yesterday that so many of you, that will fail to actually onboard, and you're not going to make millions, and you won't be the 1000Xers, and you're going to miss out in the greatest opportunity of your life. You'll be staying at Island Project properties in the future and not even know that we own them. You'll be like, oh, wow, it's a nice place we're staying at. I really like this beachfront property. You won't realize it's my multi-billion-dollar enterprise, along with my members and Papa John and my father, that own it all. As the anti-BlackRock that owns all the best real estate in the world with no bank debt, that built a blockchain soon to be traded on every major exchange, Coinbase, Kraken, KuCoin, Gemini, Dexus. The list goes on and on. Uniswap, 1inch, all coming soon. Oh, you don't even know what I have planned. I have other equity events planned. I already strategized this years ago. It's going to be continuous up-only winning, just like you're witnessing with Donald Trump. You know how much money has been made by the Trump family since they took office and Donald Trump dodged that bullet that grazed his ear? Do you know how much money Elon Musk is stepping into right now as we speak in Riyadh, in China, the Americas? A lot. So my point is, don't overthink what's happening right now. The time is to go all in. The time is to go all in a winning investment that's already proved itself, that doesn't have any bank debt, that I have to say, see our terms, and I'm not a financial advisor, but that has no downside, with all the properties owned outright, that create capital gains, cash flows, Christian-led, that is also 1000Xing, I think multi-1000Xing, see our terms and intent to tokenize, are very, very equivalent IPO, public, soon-to-be blockchain launch, built on a rock and a solid foundation of the best real estate, homes, beach, and oceanfront in a massive ski lodge in Park City, Utah. This has never been done before in world history. I mean, I've already mentioned to you, we've had major offers already from huge hedge funds and private equity wanting to buy us out. for tremendous amounts of money. And my father and I just kind of smile and don't even return the calls. Do you understand? This is so massive and so significant. A lot of you still don't understand that the crypto market is just a $3 trillion market cap in aggregate compared to a $140 trillion market cap for the entire US equity market. This is why Larry Fink and others are foaming from the freaking mouth right now, telling you that the entire world is gonna be tokenized. You know, honestly, you're not just doing yourself a disservice, you are absolutely financially negligent, but more importantly, spiritually negligent at this point if you're not getting involved. You are absolutely a dick if you don't own any Bitcoin for your family. You are the worst of the worst. Honestly, and you need to go look yourself in the mirror, because if you don't own any Bitcoin, and you don't own any Bitcoin as part of your company's treasury or your own personal retirement plan and savings, you are an absolute negligent, idiotic fool at this point. Every single Fortune 100 company and every company and equity fund and sovereign wealth fund and hedge fund worldwide is now scaling in using debt to buy Bitcoin. Like Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy, and like so many others that are using similar vehicles to access the US bond market and fixed income and debt markets at scale to then buy Bitcoin and other cryptos. Not to mention, Donald Trump has already announced and soon will be shock buying up to 2 million plus Bitcoin by themselves, but has already formed a smorgasbord cryptocurrency mafia reserve system, which is going to include every asset I've ever recommended, including RSR. The reserve rights, get it? The reserve rights. So my alpha has been world class. My advice has been bar none the best in the world. And I give all that credit to God. And I'm so happy it benefited you, so many of you out there that have listened to me. But I'm now actually giving more alpha than I ever have in the world. And yet still, so many ears go deaf. And it blows my mind that people don't think that many of you still out there, you're so questionable, you're so cynical. You don't think you deserve success. You think somebody let you down along the way or told you that you're undeserving to live the best life, that you're not allowed to rise. I'm here to tell you that's all a lie. I will help you. I am helping you. All you have to do is click the link below, onboard, fill out a 5-minute app and fund at 150 minimum. You should be getting in with a lot more than that. You should be getting in at 250K, 500K, 1,000 units. That's all you have to do. Then you onboard, you own physical assets, you can actually use and enjoy your lifestyle investment. There is no downside. You earn income, future income distributions, plus all capital gains, true equity, 100% ownership rights, and you get to be a part of my world-class 1000X network. And by the way, you know how much money my members make, the ones that are close to me, the ones that are the ballers? All of them from 30K all the way up. We used to have a 30K minimum, but we had to raise that because we're almost closed. It's 150K now. You know how much money people are making? Because they get the direct alpha from not just myself, but my team and my father, and they get access, and it's who you know. And that's another major, major thing, man. Like a lot of you discount that too, but the bottom line is it's what you know and also who you know. It's your network, and the strength comes from community and like minds and faith. Just like my daughter. Named her Faith before I knew she had any problems at all. Isn't that so cool? Because God told me. Life is a beautiful thing, and we've got an amazing road ahead, and this is the golden age. This is what Donald Trump has promised. I told you, don't bet against the golden age. It is a guarantee. The dollar is dead. The truth be told is most people were duped by the deep state. You were duped by your government. You were duped by Wall Street. They lied to you. They freaking hate you. They screwed you. They told you Bitcoin was a scam. All these pundits told you not to buy Bitcoin. They all screwed you out of millions and millions of dollars. And I've always told you the truth. We've gotten it right. We are right. We're doing bigger things now. And now right underneath your nose today, this is what blows my mind. Right underneath your nose, it's already been built and already sailing. And you have your last opportunity to get in what we've already done. And then now we're unlocking all the equity, all that capital, billions of dollars just in social capital, Our brand, the fact that I reach billions of eyeballs every single year. How about them apples is worth billions and billions of dollars. And I'm giving you a key, along with my father. All you have to do is take it and vote with your wallet and turn it. Token goes up 1,000x or more. You make millions. See my terms, not financial advice. The rest is history. You live your best life. You enjoy phase 2, access to phase 3, hundreds of properties worldwide. We change the world, and then you become the leaders and the rock that your churches are going to need, your children, your family, your communities, and so many others that you're going to inspire. It's why we built the project, and it's why my father and I have done all these amazing things through Christ. Because the legacy for me, and I believe this to be true of my father, is what we will give to the world and give to the kingdom and leave behind and grow in the spirit together something that is bigger than what is tangible here on earth. Something that has a monumental impact in people's lives. It's a game changer, not just financially. That's easy. We're already doing that. I'm talking the spirit, building kingdom wealth, doing something awesome that you love, that you have passion for, that connects you, that raises you to your highest level, which is what God intends. And so I just want to thank all of you today. It's such an amazing day, and I'll have more details to follow, and I'm going to keep you up to date, of course, on all the latest crypto moves and the trajectory, and I've never been more bullish and absolutely incredible. But today is the day to act, and you should start. If you're up massively, start taking some profits now, especially as Ethereum soon breaks new records and we see altcoins follow, and we're going to get 10, 100x, 1,000x potential pulls, and you're going to see Bitcoin trading above 200K, but it will be volatile. And keep in mind, there's no guarantees. The only guarantee is Island Project. At the end of the day, even if all crypto blew up and went to zero, guess what? All of our members still own a multi-million-dollar asset class, a multi-future billion-dollar blockchain. Doesn't go anywhere. Crypto could literally die and go to the gutter. And all my members and the Island Project still rich, because we designed it that way, that no matter what happens, volatility, war, the unforeseen, the end of the bell curve. We already planned for all of this years and years ago. I told you when I was young, my dad taught me, get rich in a concentrated position, then diversify. It's exactly what we've done. The best of both worlds, marrying Bitcoin and real estate and bringing them together with absolutely no downside for the glory of the kingdom. So it is an honor. I'm going to keep you up to date. I'll do some specific just geopolitical videos next. But I keep warning you about your last opportunity, because it's truly it, guys. Like, not only is this a game changer, but it will directly affect all of your lives moving forward. You will be fighting so many things in the coming months and years that a lot of you, maybe my audience, you know, but a lot of the general public has no idea. Do you know Apple Computers today had a major article in the Wall Street Journal that they also want microchips in your forehead? It's the mark of the beast, guys. We built the digital Noah's Ark to fight that, so you never have to comply. That faith first, God first, just like my daughter and that beautiful rainbow earlier today. I think you know what we stand for and what I'm getting at, and you have the opportunity right in front of you right now. And all you got to do is do what the general does. Throw a chair in the pool, pull the trigger on your own success. I want to thank my dad, thank all of you tuning in, our glorious, beautiful members, Jesus Christ the King, who's made all this possible. And I just want to thank him for all the winning that you've experienced as a result of following AMTV, Bitcoin Rich, and more importantly, embarking on our number one biggest thing we've ever built, 1,000x journey. Not just Coinbase stock breaking records and Palantir breaking all-time highs, but I'm talking the biggest thing we've ever freaking done in world history here at the Island Project. IslandProject.com, click the buy now button, fill out an app, get in. I'll get a tinkle. I'll confer with my dad, review your app. You can fund directly. and then we can confirm. It's that easy. You'll get a copy of your docs that shows your proof of investment. Then book a trip. Come on out. We're almost booked up, by the way, for the summer. And also the winter months and our outstanding 6 properties, soon to be number 7 in Thailand, and we're quickly scaling to 13. Notice we've been dollar cost averaging because we're picking up deals along the way. We're haggling for the best deals, creating as much equity as we possibly can with no bank debt. We're cash buyers. So amazing, guys. Amazing winning. I ain't tired of winning. This is a lot of fun, and I'm just here to encourage you guys, and thank you. You're very, very beautiful people. I'm rooting for you, and I'm here to help. And so is my father. Take action now. God bless.